All right, let's go ahead and get things underway. Let me get a couple of things just moving here. There we go. All right. Hey, everyone. Spidey Librarian here. And oh my God, we're finally getting to this. I have tried on two separate occasions to record a live stream watch party of Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And the first time I did it, about halfway through the stream, I muted myself. And so the rest of the stream was basically unusable. Um, and then the second time, oh God. Yeah, I think it was just, you know, circumstances kept making me push this back. And so when I was sick this weekend, I'm like, no, 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 no. We are definitely watching Spider-Man. So we're doing that tonight, and we're going to do that in just a moment. Hold on, I think I hear trouble asking me to let her in, so give me just a moment. Come on, come on. Are you coming in or not? Come on. Oh my goodness. Okay, the little Bratley has finally been let in. Okay, so anyways, welcome to Classics Revisited. We're going to go ahead and watch Spider-Man tonight. I want to get to that fairly quickly because who knows? Who knows if I'm going to screw it up or not. Let me see. I've got light coming from all three sources. Okay, all right. So, with all that said, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do the sound test first, and then we're going to move on to other things as well. So, let's do the first thing. Now, for anyone who is curious, I'm actually watching Spider-Man on Disney Plus tonight. I do have it on my Fandango at home account, but I don't feel like logging into it. So let me go ahead and mute the desktop audio, make sure that my headphones are plugged in, and let me tell Windows that I just plugged in headphones. I'm going to hit play. I'm doing that right now, and we're going to listen to about the first 30 seconds. Um, Sounds good to me so far. If you can hear this, let me know because that's a problem if you can. But um, but yeah, I'm very familiar with the score, so it all sounds beautiful to me. Oh man. Oh, this is coming through loud on these headphones. Oh my goodness. Okay. Like it is boom, 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 you know. So, hey CG, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. I assume this title needs no explanation for either of us. All right. So it sounds pretty good. I if anything, I want to cut the volume to the headphones. Let me just make sure. Let's see. I've gotta take a second and just check. No, I don't think I have volume control on these headphones. Do I? Do I? No. These things are literally just a pass through for the sound, which I suppose is not a bad thing. Um, but like I've listened to other movies on these things and haven't had any like real issues with like, whoa, that's loud, you know? So I don't know what the deal is, but that's okay. If I have to, I can just reduce the volume from the movie itself. In fact, let me just go ahead. I'm gonna extend the sound test a little bit just because I think I may need to. Yes, definitely. Wow. Okay, I had to cut the sound down to like it was probably at about and this is just within Disney Plus. The sound was probably around 66 to 75%. I had to cut it down to like 10% just to get it to a manageable volume. Like it's, ooh, wow, that's quite a bit. So, all right. Of course, you've been looking forward to this stream. I've been looking forward to this stream several times this year, in fact. So, but we're definitely going to get to it tonight. We're going to get to it in just a couple minutes here because we're already pretty late. I'm still feeling a little bit under the weather. I did go into work today. To be perfectly honest, I'm surprised I made it through the workday. And I was told if I still feel bad tomorrow to not come in. So we're going to just see how that goes. But um, this is one of my only other free nights of the week. So I'm going to try to get this one in. Even if I still sound a little stuffy, hopefully I'm on the mend. Hopefully I seem a little bit better than I was yesterday. So sometimes that's just all we can ask for, right? Okay, well, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. So before I get started, just want to let you know, if you are here looking for audio or video from the feature in question, that's not going to happen. What you see is what you get, which is basically me watching and reacting to the feature itself. This is a watch party, and you'll have the opportunity to watch it along with me. And I'll have a timer up so that you'll be able to see where in the movie we are. And that way you have the ability to see my reactions to it. Now, I've seen Spider-Man a million times. Probably not quite that many, but enough. And so this is why it's Classics Revisited and not, not Film First Tuesday or something. So um, what else? I will also be making reaction video content off of this footage at some point, which means we will have an intro, we will have the viewing itself, we'll have what I call the postmortem, where we review and react to what we've watched, and then finally we'll do an outro and we'll be done. And that's the basic pecking order. Now, if this is not the kind of content you are here for, I get it. I understand. I don't want to waste your time. Feel free to click off of here and go watch something else. I realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't want to waste your time, and I certainly don't want any negative engagement from people who think that I would be trying to waste their time. So, in any case, that's what's going to happen, and we're going to get to it in just a moment. All right, sound test is done. Warning has been placed, and I think we are just about good to go. So, yeah, I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. I think the first time I tried to watch this was like in May, and I screwed it up, and so we're back to trying to watch it again. I think I had tried to schedule it one other time, and I don't mean just on Sunday. I'm talking like I think I maybe tried again in like August or September, and I don't remember if I just didn't feel like it or if I didn't feel good or whatever, but yeah, I was like when I was sick this weekend, I'm like, we're doing this. So, all right. And again, I'm sorry guys if I sound or seem stuffy. It's because I am. I'm still not at 100% from my illness over the weekend. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So I said we would go ahead and start. Well, hold on. Gonna clean my glasses first. They need it. But I did say we would start with an intro, so we're going to do that in just a second, and then we will break into the movie itself. And did I just move my camera? What the hell? What is wrong with you, Spidey Librarian? There we go. Okay. All right. So I promised that intro, and we're doing it right now. Hey everyone, Spidey Librarian here, and welcome to Classics Revisited, the live streaming show where I watch a classic movie that I have enjoyed on my YouTube channel and react to it. Today's feature is going to be the 2002 Sam Raimi film Spider-Man, starring Tobey Maguire. Please note that Classics Revisited serves as both a reaction and a watch party, so this will serve as both a watch party and reaction to the 2002 film Spider-Man. I don't know what I can really say about this film. This is, of course, one of my favorite movies ever made, and it's it is in so many ways just a personal cultural touchstone for me. I by the time I by the time I came out of undergrad, I was a dyed-in-the-wool Spider-Man fan. Going into college, I might have been a little bit more of maybe an X-Men fan or something, but when I really sunk my teeth into the Peter Parker lore, oh my God, such a delicious bite. And so seeing Spider-Man brought to live action on the silver screen was huge for me. And I can't tell you how many times I went to the movie theaters and saw it. At least three, which for me back then, that was a lot. Um, yeah, I it really did feel like Sam Raimi knew what he was talking about when he was talking about, or when he was tasked with bringing these comics to life. Because even though there are definitely some artistic and creative liberties taken, it feels very much like a classic Silver Age Spider-Man comic in the way that it just kind of pops off the screen, in the way, from the color palette to some of the over the top acting choices. It just feels like you would expect a a Silver Age uh, issue of the Amazing Spider-Man to feel if you were to put it on screen. And so I came away from this movie just like over the moon, over the moon, and still, still looking forward to it every chance I get. Now, I'm gonna say it, okay? Tobey Maguire, awesome, awesome. Peter Parker, awesome Peter Parker. Um, and he was a pretty good Spider-Man too. For me, Tom Holland, he nails both Peter and Spidey excellently. Um, and then I would say Tobey Maguire is a close second. Um, but I would also say that there is not a single live action movie Spider-Man actor whose performance I don't love immensely. And so seeing this very first movie in theaters, the very first time that it came out, was definitely something of a cultural and temporal, or whatever you want to call it, privilege that I happen to have. And especially when it released on DVD, I was like in Target day one, like, give me the DVD. I want it right now. So of course, getting to watch this again, I've seen this movie. I can't even tell you how many times, but it's always, kind of like with Blade. Like whenever I get to watch this again, it's a good day. And so, I feel like it makes a lot of sense that are going to be ending Classics Revisited, at least as a regular thing. We're going to be ending Classics Revisited with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Because if you look on my channel, you'll see that I have watched both Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. I think my friend Gwen was with me for both of them. I've watched, let's see, uh, I've watched Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know if I've watched the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies on this channel. Um, so like, we should get the OG in here. So we're definitely going to do that. So, and we're going to do that in just a moment. Hey, King Matthew, how you doing? I'm doing okay, a little bit better, still feeling a bit ragged. I may or may not take the day off tomorrow. I had to go into work today though. Like there was a program going on that I had to be there for. So, um, Spider-Man 2002 is probably in your top three of favorite Marvel films, along with Hulk 2003 and X-Men 2000. Um, excuse me. I I think the 2003 Hulk I still have not seen. Um, and yeah, I think that, and I think by the time we get to the end of this month, it will still be one of the few Marvel movies that I have not seen. I think we're going to be watching Blade Trilogy, or I'm sorry, Blade Trinity on Friday, and then um, Spider-Man 2. And then I think Punisher War Journal, I think, is going to be the final Film First Friday film of the year. And then we'll end on the 28th with Spider-Man 3. So um, CG says that Spider-Man could be the first Marvel film that he ever saw. He didn't see it in theaters, but he watched it a lot after it came to DVD. You and me both, buddy. All right. To be honest, King Matthew doesn't really love the Tom Holland Spider-Man films that much. He only really loves Andrew and Tobey's versions of Spider-Man. He do loves Tom Holland as an actor, though. I mean, I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man the most, and I say this with all the love and respect that Tom Holland is due. I haven't seen him in anything else that's really grabbed me, you know? I know he's tried to do a couple of other different types of roles because he doesn't want to be typecast as Spider-Man for the rest of his life, but a lot of his other film efforts have just not gone very well, you know? So, but you know, I mean, I love all three of them. I really do. Um, in fact, it was when I finally saw No Way Home that when we saw Andrew Garfield show up, I remember thinking after watching him on screen for a few minutes, especially after his interaction with Tobey Maguire, I remember thinking, God, I really have missed him. Like, it always felt a little bad to me that Andrew Garfield never got a third Spider-Man movie. And like seeing him in this movie in No Way Home just drove it home even more, you know? So, all right. Okay. So, da, 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 da. Right. I got it. I interrupted myself. So if you enjoy these reactions, please go ahead and thwip the like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, consider sharing this out with your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reactions to these media. In this case, fans of the Marvel Universe. Whether you like or dislike this movie, let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. And finally, you can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all movies that I've watched and reacted to, and I'm dividing them up into shorter playlists by genre. Also, I will have some tag playlists as well. Spider-Man from 2002 would be on the science fiction, action, and adventure playlists, and on tagged playlist for superhero movies, Marvel movies, comic book movies, and of course, Spider-Man movies. Whichever of those playlists you go looking for, be sure to look for them on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. All right, and what else? Oh, right, that's everything at this point. So, all right. So I think that's everything. We're going to go ahead and get ready. So grab whatever drinks, whatever food you need, web yourselves in because we're about to go on the journey. All right. Okay, one Marvel film King Matthew plans to watch tomorrow is The Punisher 2004. He's only really seen the John Bernthal TV version of The Punisher, so he's hyped to see the 2004 movie. So I actually watched that movie for the first time early this year. I watched it in January. In fact, if you really wanted to have some fun, maybe you won't want to do this, but You could go find my watch party. I think it's a film first Friday, but you could go find that and then you could queue it up to the movie. I don't, you might not want to do that. You may want to experience the movie for yourself the first time, but um, if you do that though, let me know like what the experience was like. So, okay. I definitely liked Thomas Jane in that movie. There were definitely some ridiculousness about it, but overall, I found it to be enjoyable. I think I'm a sucker for a good revenge story. So, okay. All right. So, I think we're just about good to go. Let me go ahead and get out the script for my timer. And we are just about ready to throw things into cruise. All right, you guys know how this works. I'm going to throw out the thwip. Once I do that, about a second later, I'm going to hit play on the feature. And then I will, about a second later, hit, I'll start the timer. I'm going to put a couple of seconds on. And I'm watching this version on Disney Plus. So if you've got that version, then we'll be queued up. I could have watched it on my Fandango at home account, but I didn't. I was feeling too lazy to log in. So, guys, feel free to remind me to hydrate because my throat definitely is getting parched a lot quicker because I've been sick. So, just feel free to remind me. SL hydrate or something like that. I'd appreciate it. Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. You guys ready? I'm ready. Here we go. Okay, everyone. 2002's Spider-Man. Here we go. All right. And I think we're good to go. All right. And I want it full screen. Always give me the full screen option. This movie feels like Superman from 1978, at least with this opening, as it just knows what it is, and it's like, yeah, we're going big with the opening. We're gonna make it grand and epic, and you know, we got this very emotive music playing and these intricate web designs and just all this stuff happening just in the opening credits. And Superman the movie did that. So I see where it gets it. Oh, you see his hand briefly with the web prints on it. I don't know why I never caught that. Danny Elfman, of course. Of course he's doing the music. Okay, we're coming in for the start. And is this the director? No, it's the producers. Never mind. There we go. And I shouldn't need the timer, so I'm not going to go looking for that anymore. We should be good. There we go. Directed by Sam Raimi. And I love this opening. This my life is my story is so difficult to hear, you know. So I'm not gonna lie. Um, I do think that Kirsten Dunst is pretty. I I don't know. She just never struck me as Mary Jane material. You know. God, even the bus drivers being a jerk. You know. Ah, dang it. My goodness, dude is just trying to find a place to sit. You know. Oh, like they do a really good job though of you know making him life's chew toy. You know. Oh man, the secondhand embarrassment right here. The secondhand embarrassment of that scene gets me every time. Here we go. The Osbournes. I love, love, love Willem Dafoe. And the thing is, like, when I saw him in this movie, I was like, okay, he did a pretty good job. I liked him. Then I saw the Boondock Saints, which he is also in, and my respect for him as an actor just shot through the roof. But he was a pretty good Norman Osborn. The memed quote right there. You can see he's making a genuine connection with Peter here, you know? I think he wants to adopt you. So yeah, Harry's a little bit like, yeah, yeah, he likes you. Yeah, I know. I get it. Flash, you moron. And he's got like a little posse of bullies. That teacher is very intense. He's like quiet, but he's intense. The next person who talks will fail this course. I kid you not. You know? No, no, no. We all know it's Peter Tingle. Come on. Peter's like, hey, he's using my line. He doesn't care about any of this stuff, but he's impressing her with my line. I mean, it's only Peter's fault here. You know, he could have gone in and talked to her. God. Again, that teacher very just intense, quiet but intense. Oh, she likes to model, and he obviously likes looking at her, so they're clearly both having fun here. And here it comes. I like that this was like a blue and red spider. That's very cute. And he just got bit. Now, interesting thing in the comics, the spider bites him because it was irradiated and dying. Um, far as we know, this spider didn't die. It just, ran off. Meanwhile, at Oscorp, military science applications. Oh, gee, performance enhancing drugs, huh? Wow. Not, yee. Back to formula? Are you kidding me? But they've had successful tests since then, at least based on what Norman has said. Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Computer this, computer that. Uh-oh. Someone looks sickly. Because he got bit, you know? He doesn't feel good. I felt this way recently when I just felt sick, you know, like when I got sick over the weekend. Like you have a hard time regulating your body temperature and everything. You're just like, oh God, cover me up. Look at that welt on his hand, too. And now your DNA is being rewritten. Excuse me. Okay. In the comics, there is a Dr. Mendelstrom who was a partner of Norman Osborn's. And I can't remember, I think Strom tried to rip him off or something. I don't, like, he was an early character that I think they eventually killed off, but it's, of course it's cold, it's metal. But it's interesting that they include him in the movie. It's a nice touch. Excuse me. And here we go. Oh God. Like even with the muscle like expanding and I don't know, becoming dense, like that has got to be killer on the body. This guy's like, I tried to tell you, dude. And there's the goblin. So up to this point, you could basically say that Norman Osborn, while maybe not the most ethical man in the world, like he was trying to save his business. I can understand that. You could make the argument that he's not truly evil, even if he's not truly innocent. But at this point, he took the serum. He's become the Goblin, and that being is just straight up evil. He's looking jacked. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Not sure I like the implications of that look and dialogue, but okay, whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm looking better. Let's see if I can go impress her. He has barely said. He's been just like in and out with them. Wow, what an a-hole dad. Oh my god. I'm sitting here watching him as he goes through all that, and I'm like, I want to tell him, like, dude, just go talk to her. But I swear to God, I was that kid when I was his age. I was doing a lot of the same things that he was. Oh, is this the palatial apartment of Norman Osborn? Oh, oh. Hey, Dad, you sleeping on the floor again? That's not a good look for you. He doesn't remember. I was gonna say you could see genuine fear on Norman's face right there. Like by that point, you just should expect it. Oh, caught her, caught the tray. How many times do you think they shot that scene? Um, I just don't need them anymore. Like nice gifts, but you can't control them. Uh-oh. Ah, gross. Oh boy. Um, that's disgusting. Whoa. Oh, time to go. Parker. I'd be like, yeah, yeah, I did it. It's like the only thing you see that is any indication that he has like the organic web shooters in his wrist. And now we've got bullet time. Don't break people's teeth. That's not neat. That is the weirdest stance right there. Hello. Whoa. Okay, nice flip. Dang. That forearm grab and twist. Oh, what's wrong? Did the bully finally get scared? It's like, I gotta go. I don't know what's going on, but I need some me time. Yeah. He's like, oh, the bite, the spider bite. He's like, okay, what else can I do? Man, I would definitely need some climbing lessons here because this kind of thing would freak me out. I'd like be getting freaked out halfway up the wall. He's got quite a leap there. Okay, so what now? There we go. Nope. Fly. Stop taking lines from DC superheroes. Oh, that thing flies far and fast. Tally ho. Who are you, Doctor Who? Splat. Excuse me. And he forgot that he was supposed to be painting the kitchen with his uncle. And oops, kitchen's already painted. Michelangelo, meatloaf and veggies in the oven. My God, that father. Whew. My goodness. So this Flash is very vain. Maybe he wants to be a model. When it's just the two of them, it's very natural, you know? Even so, I still cried. See, this is where Toby Maguire shines in my eyes. The whole like being Peter and kind of trying to tend to his relationships with like his aunt and his uncle and MJ and Harry and everything. Um he really brings it home here, you know. I hunch. It's easier said than done, sweetie, but I'll try. Oh, Flash, hi. Wait, did he just say don't scratch the leather to his girlfriend? My God. Yeah, car even back in the early 2000s, cars were not cheap. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we found the wrestling ad. I'll get a car and then she'll like me. Yeah. one thing that I really do like about these movies too is that it does not make Spider-Man like Peter is not a costume designer, okay? He can maybe conceptualize some good costume work. I don't fault him for that. But if he had put the costume together himself and made it look cool on its own, I'd have been like, no. It's one of the issues that I had with the Andrew Garfield interpretation. But like, okay, so he makes that one, that really cool, that iconic looking one. It's not what he makes. Uh oh. Uh oh. Why didn't you catch the lamp, genius? She says that you're acting strange. She's like, okay. Wow, dude. Okay. Lots of webs. Chill out. Uh oh. Uh oh. Norman's freaking out. And that is a prime opportunity for the goblin. Mm hmm. Okay. All right. Too many of us already know what's coming here. So, wow. Not exactly. He tried to run away at first, okay? He tried to walk away. God, that still lands. And look at how Cliff Robertson he just like takes it and just looks really sad. It's just heartbreaking, you know? Like you can feel it right there. Peter's just like, I really want to take that back, but the moment has passed, you know? This is like the only thing I know Randy Macho Man Savage for. I know he's like a pro wrestler or was, but this is the only thing I ever saw him in, you know? Oh boy. I love that Bruce Campbell makes these little cameo appearances. You guys recognize Octavia Spencer right here? May God be with you. Dang. Well, no one can stay in the ring with this guy. He's too tough. The next victim. That sucks. Spider-Man. It's like that costume is terrible, but it's what he could come up with as a teenager in the early 2000s with no money, you know? This part is just so over the top, but you know, it's pro wrestling, so. Uh-oh. Freak show. Been a while since I've seen that. Okay, there's your homophobic joke right there. Oh, where's that spider sense then? Oh, yikes. Oh, kick his spider ass, really? There you go. You throw him over yourself. Was what? That was like less than a minute. They love me. They really, really love me. That's it. Excuse me. Webhead. Buddy, that is just a freaking welching on a bat. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The robbery. Peter just gets right out of the way. Ooh, sucks to have that phrase turned back on you, doesn't it, buddy? Like, I know that Peter, letting that guy escape it leads to bad consequences for him and his uncle, but like in that moment, you definitely understand why he did it? Oh boy, here we go. That's my uncle. Let me through. So the first time I saw this in theaters, I was a mess. I've seen this enough times that I'm used to it, but like it still lands emotionally every time. And sadness turns to anger, and anger provides good motivation. You can see the change in his like posture when he first started climbing the walls to now, and it's just like he's just doing it. Like he's just used to doing this kind of thing. Time to go swinging. There we go. Throw out a line. There we go. Yeah, I guess he hasn't done that since since the construction crane. See, everything is just so bold and colorful. This is what I mean when I say this feels like a 60s comic. Oh, oh. Okay. And now they're holed up in this building together. I like the use of light and shadows here. That first descent on the web line, very cool. Dang, put him through both pieces of glass. And then he recognizes the burglar from before. And there we go. There we get it. Oh, you don't get to use that. Now, to be fair, Peter didn't exactly push him out the window. The guy pulled a gun on him and he broke his wrist. And the guy stumbled back in fear and pain and he fell. Could Peter have saved him? Yeah, probably. But I understand his reasoning for just standing there. If for no other reason, then you could argue that he is also in shock, you know? Now imagine this. Imagine all that happening, and you have to go home and tell it to your aunt. Yeah, no. Oh, the poor woman. Meanwhile, back in Normanville, I like how they get you to sympathize a little bit with Norman Osborn by showing like these military and government types to just be complete and total a-holes to him. And oh, that transition is awesome with the explosion and then the graduation caps in midair. Wow, that's high praise coming from his dad. That's really nice of him. And you know how, notice how Peter is fairly non-reactive to it. Like he's not brushing him excuse me. He's not brushing him off, but he's just like, "Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, that's very nice, you know." He's still all traumatized by the fact that Uncle Ben couldn't be there. Yeah. I like the way that she just kind of came in and just sat down patiently next to him, just like, um, I'm here to listen whenever you need to talk about it, you know? See, very, very cool design. I'm good with that. But how does he actually get it made? I don't remember if that's ever explained in these ones. Stealing the hostess cupcakes too, buddy. These eyewitness accounts, they're great. And there he is, yeah. Like, why you doing that, huh? The lady that says eight hands sounds hot. That's the actress who plays Xena, warrior princess. I can't remember her name offhand. Here we go. Best character of the trilogy right here. Oh. J.K. Simmons just knocks it out of the park here. Made Jonah stop. Eddie. Eddie's been on it for weeks. It's how far are we into the movie? We're almost an hour into the movie before we meet J. Jonah Jameson, and it's awesome. Working on it. Odd. least you got a job. Oh, nope, he didn't tell her. Yeah, that'd be great. Uh, yeah. He's like, oh boy, Harry, hmm? Don't tell Harry. All right, I won't tell Harry. Harry, guess what you didn't tell me? Dr. Connors, name drops. Ooh, that is a loaded statement there. Hey, nothing wrong with having connections, okay? Like I get the idea to do it on your own. That's fine, but uh-oh, time to take some photos. And then oh wait. And again, and those are all really nice. Mhm. Again, J.K. Simmons, awesome. I don't know what Simmons did in order to get that aura, but man, he just has it from the get go. Betty Brant. And that would also be Elizabeth Banks. Yeah. Wow. I don't understand how business works. So this is all a bunch of mumbo jumbo to me. But basically, it's like how do they have the ability to do that to him? He's the one that's run the company. He's the one that's, I don't know. Oh, it's like, okay, again, they're just making characters who are douche nozzles just to make Norman more sympathetic. Oh boy, Macy Gray, huh? I remember when she was popular. All right, go take some pics. Uh-oh. Hey, maybe the red sets off her hair or her eyes. Ooh, she's like, "Nah, I can't kiss you." After he made a comment like that, I don't blame her, you know? Uh-oh. Peter Tingle sensing. And here we go. These idiots don't even recognize the tech from their own company. Oh, okay, he finally does recognize it. Oh, wouldn't you like to know, Harry? Hey, it's all the rich people on the balcony. Well, that seems to be a sign that he's probably hostile. Oh, hey, there's Stan Lee pulling a child out from under some falling debris. Hey, Peter just did it too. Oh man. Okay, let's be honest. That would not have happened. That section with her in it would have fallen very quickly. And everyone has just been turned to skeletons. There we go. First clash between the two. Billy, you better leave. Be really funny if Billy's last name was Connors. Then Dr. Connors had to rehire Peter. He blocks him but says impressive? Really? And I have guns on this thing. Oh, and missiles. Oh, she's about to fall. Oh, God. Just that debris falling towards the people is like, that makes me squeamish. Oh, ow. That was just mean. And I've. Okay, time to rescue the girl. There we go. And everyone is like, this is great entertainment. Yeah. It's like, no, no, no. That was quite real. Like, as best I can tell, these movies are set like in the, the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, but everyone in them operates like, you know, people from a 1960s like TV show or comic. As far as we can tell, this MJ loves uh going web swinging. As we know, that's not the case with all MJs. Poor Harry, man. Like, he is the absolute definition of a poor little rich boy. So, MJ, huh? You and MJ. I like that he at least acknowledges that. And that somebody is gonna be me. So poor Norman, whenever he is in charge of the body, he's just like, what the hell has been happening? Why have I got periods of unconsciousness? This is a great scene right here. Look at how his face changes between characters. Love it. Mm. God. Again, I loved Willem Dafoe's performance here. When I saw him in the Boondock Saints, I was like, this is one of the best actors I've ever seen, you know? In print, it's libel. Well, that's an entrance. See, Simmons's performance, he's just like he gets the assignment. He knows the character. Spider-Man saves him from the goblin and he immediately is like, "You two are in cahoots together, aren't you?" And it just works so well. To each his own. There are some parallels between this talk and the talk that the Joker tries to give Batman in The Dark Knight. Now, what would have been really compelling here is if the Goblin had actually given Peter a vision. Like, instead of saying, imagine what we could create together, what if he had done some of the intellectual heavy lifting and been like, yeah, we could create a city where everyone is safe, or something like that, really mess with Spider-Man. But, they opted for four color evil, which I get and I understand. It's just that that could have been cool too. Oh, dang. Poor MJ. Cheeseburger sounds nice. I'm just making conversation, that's all. You know? Another time, perhaps, you know? Tiger. Uh huh. And we know what's coming up here. Man, it's really coming down all of a sudden. Really? Dang, she got two of them off the bat. Okay, she's definitely not wearing a bra right there. Now, how do you lose his mask? There we go. He got it back on. Ooh, superhero stalker. Uh, okay. And of course, we have this iconic kiss coming up right here. I can't even imagine what that must feel like because the blood has got to be rushing to your head if you're upside down already. And I don't know, just the idea of kissing someone upside down sounds cool in theory, but realistically, I'm just like, wow, I don't know how you'd be able to stand that for very long, you know? Oh, right. And now we're going to cut to random fire. Look, here he comes from blocks away. And he just jumps right in there. No problem. Ouch. Better hope that's her baby. For what? Rescuing babies? Cops like, all right, fine, go. I'll have to deal with you some other time, I guess. More effective jump scares I've ever seen in a superhero movie. So did you set this fire? Gobby. Yeah, never been a fan of these things, but I get it. He just dodged 5 of your projectiles, no problem, Gobby. Dang, talk about your explosive battles. He's like, I'm out of here. And now Norman's like coming out of a trance on the way to Thanksgiving dinner. Fruitcake, huh? Did he? Did he? I don't remember if he did. Kind of creep look that he's giving MJ right there. Uh oh. That is. I remember the first time I saw that. I'm like, oh my god. And then he looks around, sees the blood, and goes into goblin mode. Like, where are you, Spider Man? I just remember thinking the first time I watched this scene, I'm like, my God! I was like on the edge of my seat the whole time. Grace. Okay, we got time. That is a big old turkey. Jesus, because it's the goblin in charge right now. So, mm-hmm. Norman's like, what? That looks familiar. Bike messenger. He's like, nope, he doesn't buy it at all. Now, I feel like this scene right here is a good instance of Norman and the Goblin actually like battling each other philosophically. Because like as Spider-Man's enemy, he's like, "Oh my God, I know you and I want to get you." And then there's Norman who likes Peter and is like, "Oh my God, it's him. We can't do this to him." And so, like, yeah. Oh God, he's being loud about that too. Wow. That was so viciously bad for him to say. See, Harry defending him right here is just like, wow, he really wants his dad's approval. See, attack his heart. Again, pretty good jump scares, all things considered. Yep, that'll get his attention. Yellow eyes, what? He knows who you are. What you gonna do about it? Excuse me. I'm sorry for being Spider-Man. Uh oh. Oh, that guy. Oh yeah, he has. He has. He said things about you. This is actually a very clever piece of dialogue right here. Well, Spider-Man. Something like that. And May is just like, I get to hear all this. Maybe this isn't the right time to be. Oh, and here he is. There's Harry. Hey, Harry, how you doing? Oh God, imagine coming home to that. Just you know, your father in the midst of a I don't know a psychotic break or something. And the goblin just loved that bit of information. Rectify certain inequities. Okay. Okay, good. This movie's got at least three decent jump scares in it. Yeah, no, he's not Superman. That's true. That's very true. Excuse me. Hey, a little mystique is sexy. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Oh, I need to go. You told me to leave. I'm leaving. You know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. And now we're starting to borrow elements from the night Gwen Stacy died. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Oh, God. Uh-uh. I would like be ducking towards the ground and being like, nope, nope, I'm going to stay as steady as I can here. Oh, what the hell, man? Why you got to knock on my perch like that? The kids are like, that's cool. And then, no, no, kids. No, that's not cool at all. Wow. Um, that's, yeah, that's a bit destructive, isn't it? And he is just like, "Ah, I'm gonna tow this cable car here and play with these kids' lives because that's what I do. I'm the Green Goblin. Slingshot. Oh, you're gonna make me choose, huh? Spider-Man, save us. Oh God. I like that visual right there. MJ in one lens, the kids in the other. Nice catch. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, that has got to hurt so much. I don't care how much super strength you've got. Uh oh. Oh, look, you still lost. I recently, oh God, apparently that actor on the barge, I don't remember which one. I think it's probably the white actor. I think that guy was in Cannibal Holocaust, which is a movie I watched earlier this year. Do not recommend. Hatefully, terribly made movie, and it's graphic just for the sake of being graphic. But I do remember looking at the cast list of some of the actors, and one of the actors was in Spider Man as the guy on the barge. Uh oh. Uh oh. Oh, oh, oh. Caught it. Catch it. Do something, please. Oh my God. He's gonna make it. Okay, and I like this part right here. Spidey gets saved by the New Yorkers. Like, that scene right there kind of smacks of, you know, post 9/11 sentiment. But, uh-oh. Oh! But I won't deny that it feels good, you know? Where are they fighting here? Where does this last scene take place? I mean, I guess it's not the last scene, but this last combat scene. Oh, come on. And I'm sorry, why does that bomb only tear his costume more off rather than kill him? Oof. Wow. It's like, I've had. Oh, come on. It's like, I've had enough of you, sir. Oh, man. There we go. Good God, why is he so good? It's like he was made for fighting or something. God. That's the wrong thing to say to anyone. Hell of a time, huh? Yeah, I'm a little stronger than I've actually let on, Normie. That is some vicious brick walling right there. Mr. Osborne. Yep. Oh, how do you protect someone from their own insanity? See, and we got the goblin just playing the part here. Selling yourself a little tall there, Norman. Oh, Peter Tingle, activate. I will never get over that. Oh, and this is another element taken from the night Gwen Stacy died. It's the second person to say don't tell Harry. What have I done? You don't know anything, boy. Oh, okay. Well, I guess Spider-Man is Batman as well. I suppose he would. Peter's like, oh God, come on. Can't I catch a... Oh, thank God for you, Peter. That's what his father said. Well, now that that unpleasantness is concluded, now we need to move on to another piece of unpleasantness. I feel like it's a bit early for her to say that, but, again, I get why they do it. So, what you got to say to that, Petey? And I want to, but a lot of it would be pretty compromising. Mm, Mm, it's okay. Look, that is selling short the important bond of friendship. I don't call a lot of people my friends. Like that means something, you know? That's why I get so pissed off when I hear people talking about the friend zone. It's like, excuse me, that's a privilege too to be someone's friend. And if you say you've got thousands of friends, no, you don't. Okay? You got lots of acquaintances who like you. Friends are relatively few and far between. And there we go. We get the iconic swinging scene. You know, now that we've had like 20 plus years with these movies and seen them get progressively better, it's easier to notice like the obvious CGI in a lot of the swinging scenes, but still looks pretty good in my opinion. So, okay, and we got about 5 minutes of credits in there. Tugboat Captain Robert Kerman. I think that might be the guy who was in Cannibal Holocaust. I was just astounded to see that there was a link between that movie and Spider Man, however tenuous. I was like, whoa. Oh, God, this song. I remember this song when it was on the radio all the time. And really, I think it's just because it was associated with this movie that it got as much airtime as it did. And they say that a hero can save us. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let me see. Of course, now that I've got. Hold on a moment. If you see something weird, that's my fault. There we go. We got about 3.5 minutes left on the credits, so. Remember, guys, I watched this on Disney Plus, so there were like no commercial breaks or anything like that. So, all right, 3 minutes left. Let me see. I'm gonna just start checking on chat. Man, CG and King Matthew were saying quite a bit. Nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, this other song, I have no idea what that is. Okay, you guys have had some interesting things to say about Uncle Ben. All right, we got about a minute and a half left on the credits. Yeah, so you guys are referring to him as Randy Savage. I just know him as Macho Man's. Like, yeah, you to me, you can't say his name without having Macho Man in it. Oh, here we go. Spider Man, Spider Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches fleas just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider Man. Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood from a thread. Overhead, look here, there goes the Spider Man. Okay, this part I don't know at all. Maybe the first time in a very long time that I've sat through the entire credits of this movie because I do not remember the original Spider-Man song being there. All right, let me go ahead and stop the timer and then reset it. So, all right. And now Disney Plus is recommending me Spider-Man the Animated Series. Like, start with season 1, episode 1, Night of the Lizard. And I'm just like, I've already watched all of those episodes on my YouTube channel. Still need to make the reaction videos for them, but I do have the reaction video for the very first episode. So, Night of the Lizard, you guys could always check that out if you want to. So, all right. Okay. Let's go ahead and just do the postmortem and get that out of the way because yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, that was 2002's Spider-Man, directed by Sam Raimi, and of course starring Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, Willem Dafoe, um, J.K. Simmons, uh, and James Franco, Rosemary Harris, Cliff Cliff Roberts, Cliff Robertson. Is it Roberts or Robertson? I don't know. Anyways, it has a great flipping cast. And of course, I've seen this movie so many times. Um, and it's is it a perfect Spider-Man movie? No, it isn't. But in some ways, it is a perfect rendition of a a Spider-Man comic come to life. And when I say that, I'm talking about like the Silver Age stuff, the stuff that really popped on the page, the stuff that had the outlandish plots and the cheesy dialogue. This just does it, and there's not even a question about it. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is doing exactly that, and it knows the assignment on that end. It has wonderful performances by the entire cast. I'm not even going to go into it because so many people have said so much about what various cast members have done in their roles. Um, of course, Tobey Maguire is great. Kirsten Dunst is fine as MJ. I personally would have gone with someone else, but she does fine. But I mean, for me, the real standout performers in this one are J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. In my opinion, you will never find someone you will never find someone um, who embraces all of the characteristics of J. Jonah Jameson like J.K. Simmons does. And then Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe. I This was the first thing I ever saw Willem Dafoe in. And then later I discovered the Boondock Saints and I was like, "Oh my god." If you have not seen that movie, it is very violent, it is very funny, and it's a touch misogynistic in places, but it is a good good watch. Definitely recommend it, especially Willem Dafoe's performance in there. But I mean, especially since they brought him back for Spider-Man No Way Home, it really just kind of reinforces that this is the iconic representation of Norman Osborn. And at first, I took one look at Willem Dafoe and I was like, okay, this is going to be Norman Osborn. And then I just sat back and watched his performance and I'm like, oh, the duality there is just amazing. And the way that he uses his face to separate the two characters that he's playing, because he is playing two characters and they're both at war for the same body. Excellent, excellent stuff. Yeah, this is always just a treat to watch. And, I've tried to watch it several times this year on the channel, and I've had various issues, and finally we get around to watching it tonight, and that makes me very happy that we've finally done that. Um, in terms of a letterboxed review, this is easily a four-star movie for me. This is up there with, like the Blade movies. So far, I haven't seen Trinity yet, but we're gonna see that one soon. Um, but there are better Spider-Man movies than this one, in my opinion. Some people might, get hot at hearing me say that. But this just because I think there are better movies don't mean that I think this one sucks, like at all. But this one definitely resonates with me on an emotional level, especially for being the first big screen Spider-Man movie experience ever, not just during my lifetime, but ever. And I don't know. I uh, I I enjoyed getting the chance to see this again. I had a wonderful time, and hopefully you did as well. Thank you for watching these reactions. Sorry. Thank you for watching this reaction. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and thwip the like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing as well. Also, consider sharing this out with your friends, your family, your followers, anyone that you think would enjoy my reaction to these media. In this case, fans of the Marvel Universe. Excuse me. What'd you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know why in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this film. Sorry. You can find the full and unedited live stream of this reaction on my YouTube channel. There is a master playlist of all movies that I've watched and reacted to, and I'm dividing them up into shorter playlists, usually by genre, but also I'm incorporating tagged playlists as well. Spider-Man would fall into the science fiction, action, and adventure, right? I want to make sure that I got those correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Spider-Man would fall under the science fiction, action, and adventure uh, genre playlist and would also appear in tagged playlists for superhero movies, comic book movies, Marvel movies, and, of course, Spider-Man movies. Now, whichever of those playlists you go looking for, be sure to look for them on my YouTube channel under the category Watch Party. Excuse me. I'm still not 100% well, guys. I'm getting there, but it is going to take me a while. So, excuse me. All right. And finally, channel memberships are now available on the Spidey Librarian YouTube channel. Check out the membership tiers and see which benefits you'd like access to. Perks include shoutouts, members only videos, members only live streams, and early access to selected uploaded content, and a few other benefits as well. And that's not even mentioning my custom emotes and badges, which I think look pretty good. Check out the membership tiers today and see which perks you'd like access to. And I think that's everything. So thanks again for watching. This is Spidey Librarian. And until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Okay, let me go ahead and just take a look at chat. Let's see. There's a scene in the Daily Bugle where Eddie is name dropped, yeah, by his first name. You think that Eddie Brock was going to be in the film, but he got cut out? I don't remember hearing anything like that, but it's entirely possible. So, used to think that Kirk Connors was in the film, but he's not. No, he doesn't appear until the second one. Although the sequel is better, Spider-Man 2002 is still one of the better Spider-Man films. Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. The hero song is so good. It's pretty good. I definitely remember enjoying it. The song is by Chad Kroeger, who was the frontman of the band Nickelback, which they have just been so people have just ragged on them like since the 90s, you know. All right, let me see what you guys were saying about some of the other stuff. Okay, Cliff Robertson. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right. Staying hydrated is very important, which CG has learned quite thoroughly in recent years. Yeah, no, it is important, and I have learned it very recently as well. All right. Richard Donner's Superman films were heavily influential to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. Oh yeah, and I would say a lot of other superhero movies as well. Absolutely. All right. King Matthew remembers going to the theaters and seeing this for the first time back in the day and thinking that Willem Dafoe was the perfect person to play the Green Goblin. The critics definitely gave him a hard time. Like some of them were like, "Oh no, he was great." There were others that said that he was not interested in trying to he was either not capable of or not interested in trying to replicate the kind of aura that Jack Nicholson had made with the Joker. And I thought that was a very fair or no, I thought that was a very unfair comparison when I heard it. I'm like, they're completely different characters, and I'm like, you're just being a stupid critic who clearly doesn't know anything about the comics, you know. Um, but I think since then it has basically become established that yeah, no, Willem Dafoe is Green Goblin and he is iconic at it. So uh, let's see. CG doesn't think that Danny Elfman's Spider-Man music gets enough love. Although it doesn't top his Batman music, it's still great. Yeah, I will agree with you there, actually. Um, hold on. God, stupid. I've got drainage, and it's like it's affecting my speech, it's affecting my breathing, and sometimes I just have to stop and clear my sinuses. So, excuse me for one moment, guys. All that effort for that little, it just seems criminal. Okay. All right. But yeah, I will agree with you. Danny Elfman's Batman score is definitely more iconic and memorable than Spider-Man's, but Spider-Man's is up there. Like it is definitely up there. So, but yeah, he has done music for a lot of movies that I've ended up loving. And the thing is, I don't notice music in the same way that I feel like a lot of critics do. Um, it's one of those things where I'm just like, oh, this sounded good, and that's about all there is to it for me. Um, but for the most part, like I think you got the Batman movies, you've got Spider-Man, you've got Beetlejuice, I believe, and I think didn't he also do the music for Big Fish? I'm gonna check on that. Yes. Okay, he did do the soundtrack for Big Fish, which is another of my absolute favorite movies. Um, if you've got a close relationship with your father and you go to watch that movie, just bring tissue. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Tobey Maguire is an underrated actor in King Matthew's opinion. He has the best performance in Brothers 2009, where he co-starred with Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, okay. I haven't seen that, but another Spider-Man alum actor. So, Tobey Maguire is CG's personal favorite Spider-Man. That's not him calling him the definitive best or anything, but he captures what CG likes about Spider-Man so well. Yeah. For a long time, he only knew Kirsten Dunst from Spider-Man. However, CG later listened to the dub of Kiki's Delivery Service where she voiced the title character, and she did a great job. Oh, good. Um, so before Spider-Man, what I knew Kirsten Dunst from best was the movie Interview with a Vampire, and she was like 8, 9, 10 when she was in that movie. She was tiny. She was a child. And she played this child vampire so so well. Because like she was enraged that she would never get to grow up. Like as a vampire, she was just frozen in time where she was. And she wanted to do things like, chase boys and have passionate romance relationships and everything, and she was never going to get to do that, and so she lived her vampire life perpetually pissed off at her sire, and Kirsten Dunst did an amazing job playing that character. Interview with a Vampire, like it is a story about vampires. I would hesitate to call it a horror movie. It definitely has horror elements in it. Um, I would call it more of a dark fantasy and probably a dark romance as well. So, but if you've got the stomach for it, I would definitely recommend it because she, as a child actor, she turns in a fantastic performance. Um, her character does not meet a good end. Just know that. So, all right, Spider-Man 1 and 2 just had the best Spider-Man villains, especially with Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, played by Alfred Molina. He's probably my most favorite Spider-Man villain, aside from Green Goblin. Yeah, well, for me, Doc Ock tops Green Goblin, and you'll never convince me otherwise. To me, Doc Ock is the definitive Spider-Man villain, and and what I love about his characterization in Spider-Man 2 is that he is so diametrically opposed and different from his comic book counterpart. In the comics, Doc Ock is not a good man. He has never been a good man. He is short-tempered, brilliant, yes, but like he is always just portrayed as this guy who was bullied like Peter as he grew up and as a result became really short with people and just very unlikable in general. And when they did Spider-Man 2 and they had Alfred Molina play him, like they changed the fundamental nature of the character. And really, it's one of those changes that they make where, you know, it's one of those changes for the better because up in the like in the comics up until I would say the mid 90s. And think about that. We're talking early 60s all the way to the mid 90s. Octavius never got an origin story. He just showed up and Spider-Man had to put his A game on because Doc Ock was going to kick his ass otherwise. And I just fell in love with that version of the character when Alfred Molina stepped into the role. I was just like, this is so unlike Doc Ock in the comics, and I love it, and it works. And I like the comics version of Doc Ock. I think again, like the pure comics version of Doc Ock is very much the opposite side of the coin that is Peter Parker. The difference being that, Peter had a loving environment that he was raised in, and Octavius did not. So, yeah, I don't know. I love what they did with him in the second movie. I'm gonna love talking about the second movie. All right. Um, so definitely tune in for that on Sunday, assuming I'm not sick again. So, let's see. King Matt liked Venom in Spider-Man 3, but to him, Eddie Brock was not cast right. He loves Topher Grace, but he just wasn't the right fit. And a lot of people agree with you on that point. Uncle Ben actor Cliff Robertson previously had a role in another superhero thing. He played an evil cowboy in a couple of episodes of the Adam West Batman show. Really? Oh, that's cool. Never knew that. Uh, Cliff Robertson and Rosemary Harris were great choices for Uncle Ben and Aunt May, respectively. Absolutely agree with you there. Let's see. Remember that commercial from back in the day that Jack Black and Sarah Michelle Gellar did that was a scene from this movie? What? Okay, if you find that commercial, link it to me in my Discord. Um, I will out because I can't remember seeing that. So, all right. So far, CG thinks that the Sam Raimi continuity is the only version of Spider-Man that fully gets how important Uncle Ben is to Peter's life. I will agree with you on that point. However, I do feel that a counterpoint needs to be made, though. And that is that the Raimi trilogy had the luxury and privilege of being the first to do it, to do the Spider Man story. And I'm bringing that up because when they rebooted Spider Man for Andrew Garfield and then again for Tom Holland, they had to make a creative decision about how much familiar territory do we need to retread. And so I think that while you can make the claim that yes, they understood the importance of Uncle Ben, I don't think it's an entirely fair comparison because if they had done Uncle Ben and that whole thing again, they would have run into the very much deserved criticism of you're just telling the same story over and over again. Sam Raimi had the ability to do things the right way, and he did it really well. So how are you going to top that, And I think that I think that by embracing multiverse theory and seeing what Marvel Studios has done, um, Uncle Ben doesn't need to always be the most important character. Aunt May can fill that role. And arguably, Aunt May should have filled that role some time ago. There's more than a few comics fans who are like, who are just like, could you please just let Aunt May die? Could you please let Peter grow into a mature adult and not perpetually be like a man child essentially? And they're not wrong. They're not wrong at all, actually. But due to the fact that you have comic book editors and writers who want to keep Spider-Man a certain age and never let him mature and never let him grow up, you run into the problem of recycled plot elements coming back around over and over again. And so you've got some people complaining, hey, can this change? And then you've got other people just complaining, no, we don't want him to grow up. He needs to stay this age. And you know, that ethos bleeds into the movies. And so I think that understanding the importance of Uncle Ben it doesn't mean what you probably think it means. At least not the way I'm talking about it. I understand the importance of that type of character in Peter Parker's life, but it doesn't always have to be Uncle Ben. And I think that by, kind of gradually phasing him out, I think they've proven that. And there'll be people who don't agree with me, and that's fine. You have the right to be wrong in this country. Um, but you are wrong, and you'll never convince me otherwise. So, okay, I'm going to move on from that because I could probably talk about that all night. So, the Amazing Spider-Man has a good version of Uncle Ben, but I feel like the parent stuff in the film and especially in the sequel downplays his importance. I hate it when you're trying to cough that stuff out and it gets like stuck right where you're trying to draw in air. Oh God, I'm sorry. Ugh. Um, yes. But I also think that one thing that the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies do, and I will say that the parent stuff, I don't think that ever should have been introduced. Yes, it's part of the lore, but it's so unimportant to the character. Um, but one thing the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies do is they actually give Aunt May a lot more importance and a lot more. They raise the stakes for her, and I really like that because as much as we love Rosemary Harris, and we love the role that her character plays in the Sam Raimi movies, she is in a lot of ways very much kind of a background character. She's there to provide support. She's there to, let Peter know that she loves him and that he is supported. And that's great. There isn't too much for her to do there. And I like the idea of them taking, especially once they took Uncle Ben away, of basically May being almost obsessed with the idea that no, 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 your parents left you, you're my son now. I raised you. And I liked I liked that the Andrew Garfield and the Mark Webb movies did that. I think it lent a new dynamic to the character that we didn't always see. Um, I I think we hardly saw it in the Sam Raimi movies, which is fine because there wasn't much of a place for it there. But if you read the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, the ones from the early 2000s, like that's definitely a dynamic that plays a lot more into how a more modern Aunt May raised a more modern Peter Parker. So, um, let's see. King Matthew says that's the one thing he hates about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is that they don't even show Uncle Ben. Hopefully, Spider-Man Brand New Day will introduce Uncle Ben. It's highly doubtful, though. tend to agree with you at this point. And again, I love the character of Uncle Ben. I just don't think that he necessarily has to be as important in every iteration of Spider-Man as people seem to think that he must be. I think that he is he is the first iteration of a good archetype for for Peter, but I don't think it always necessarily has to be him. So, movie Green Goblin is the first character CG can remember dressing up as for Halloween. Oh, nice. Thinks that he dressed up as movie Spider-Man a few years afterwards. That's really cool. I've dressed up as Spider-Man a bunch of times. I think when I was a kid, I might have dressed up as Batman for Halloween. I've dressed up as Robin a time or two for Halloween. And I even did Nightwing one year. And I've done countless Jedi as well. So, Randy Savage doesn't have much screen time in the film, but his role is memorable. Oh, absolutely. Uncle Ben's death in this film is so devastating, especially when you find out in Spider-Man 3 that the guy that killed him didn't mean to do it. I like that they pay homage to that in Spider-Man No Way Home when Tobey Maguire's Peter tells Tom Holland, um, I wanted to kill the man that I thought did it. I got what I wanted. It didn't help. Like, I like that with that small adjustment of words, you're acknowledging the events of Spider-Man 3 happening. Like, I really thought that was clever and something that that worked out and made for a nice little moment. Let's see. Randy Savage guest starred in a few cartoons that CG saw as a kid. He was always a fun guest to listen to. Oh, I mean, he's got a distinctive voice, that's for sure. By the time this film out, Randy Savage had already been retired from wrestling. Could be wrong though. I couldn't tell you, but it's possible. Um, let's see. You also think that Randy Savage was in another movie called Ready to Rumble, which released in 2000. I don't know. When it comes to like professional wrestling, I'm really stupid that way. I've never been that interested in it. Some of the personalities, are popular enough that I'll hear about them, and that's about the extent of it for me. So, okay. When I rewatched the film as an adult, Peter's rude comment to Bonesaw was the big thing that didn't hold up for me. I didn't understand what it meant when I was a kid. Yeah, see, back when I was a kid, and feel free to condemn my generation for this if you want, but this is just the way it was. But I mean, people called each other faggot and queer and all those terrible, terrible words that you absolutely should not use at another human being. And it was just very casual, you know? I feel like I feel like at the time it was, kids being edgy and stupid like kids do. But I mean, like, I go back and I listen and I watch movies from the 80s and I'll I'll hear that dialogue and I'll be like, "Yee, what the hell, man?" And then I'll remember, Jesus, I grew up during that time. I probably said some of those things. Um, because, you want to fit in, you want to be cool. It's one of those things, and you may not think about the moral implications when you're a kid. Um, but yeah, that joke, like, it's just kind of one of those things where, like, saying something like that was just acceptable enough back then that it made it into the movie. And, I wish it hadn't, of course, but I will say this, there have been some good memes that have come from that bit of dialogue since that I've really enjoyed. So, All right. I could be misremembering, but I think that there was a TV version of the film that took the line out. That would not surprise me at all. Like, and I would completely understand that. Um, CG thinks that Peter realizing that Uncle Ben was like a father to him is the heart of the film. I mean, I think that he already realizes it. Um, but I definitely agree that that relationship definitely is it sets the tone not only for that film but for the others. So yeah, Norman Osborn tried to be a father to Peter, but that didn't work out very well. And again, like I keep bringing this up because Norman is such an interesting character that I think there's a lot of interesting choices that you could make with a character like his that they explore in other iterations, but not always this one. And I almost would have preferred that, Peter, maybe not too much, but at least a little bit be somewhat accepting of that idea because like, Norman's a fellow scientist. He has plenty of reason to admire the guy. He has plenty of reason to think, like this is someone who is a titan in a field that I'm interested in, and he's my best friend's father. Why would I not want to get to know this person better? And that I think that would have made for an even more interesting relationship as Peter and Norman discover what each of them does behind the mask. And yeah, I don't know. I just wish that we could see more interesting dynamics like that. Let's see. William Defoe's in a lot of things, but CG thinks of Green Goblin when he thinks of him. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think of this, but I also think of the Boondock Saints. So, to this day, King Matt believes that Willem Dafoe would make a great Joker against Batman. I will not disagree with you there. Another one of J.K. Simmons' best performance is in Whiplash. I hated his character so much in that. Whiplash is the movie where he's like a piano teacher or like coach or something, right? I think I've only seen one or two scenes from that movie, and my God, I don't think I'm ready to watch that movie. I remember having the toy line for the film. Peter, MJ, and Norman, and even Jameson got an action figure. Nice. I don't think Harry got action figures until the third film when he became the new Goblin. Okay. CG thinks that Green Goblin's movie design is incredibly divisive. As a kid, I preferred the classic comics design, but I thought that the movie wasn't too bad. Um, I can appreciate what they were trying to accomplish at that point in in our development of movie technology and storytelling. Um, I don't know that you'll ever get a perfect like representation of the comics costume on live action. And I think it's um because comics are just too damn what's the word? Elastic. In the sense that like the Green Goblin costume is also supposed to be like armor, but it's also like a rubber mask that comes off of Norman Osborn. And you can't have those two things at the same time. You just can't. Not in any kind of semi realistic fashion. You're going to break verisimilitude that way. So I appreciate what they were trying to accomplish, even though I see the flaws with the design. Really, I think Willem Dafoe did the world a solid when he basically demanded, as one of the conditions of him returning to play the Goblin, was that he basically be allowed to act without the mask. Because, man, then he just gets to put that that brilliantly plastic face of his to use. And we've already seen that he can do it in the first three Spider-Man movies. So that was like one of those things where I'm like, dude, you made the right call, and you're even more iconic for it now. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know that like I honestly think that Willem Dafoe's No Way Home appearance, I feel like that's about as close as you can realistically get to comic accurate. But who knows? I could be proven wrong in the future. Wouldn't be the first time. Let's see. As a kid, you thought that Peter was in such a rush to save MJ that he didn't put his mask on first. However, in hindsight, he doesn't know if he's right or not. Yeah, I don't know. All right, and then King Matt had to leave. Let's see. And then we had some stuff here. Okay. Um, hey Parker, how you doing? Good to see you. There's a scene in the daily. Okay, we talked about that one. I don't think that the new movies have to show Uncle Ben, but I think that not mentioning him ruins Peter's motivation in CG's personal opinion. And again, you're welcome to that opinion. It's I don't happen to share it anymore. I used to think that way. Um, Now I don't really believe that we need the character Uncle Ben so much as we need the archetype that he represents more. um, and I mean, in Spider-Man No Way Home, Aunt May was that character, you know. So it's and again, we're all welcome to differences of we're all welcome to differences of opinion. We're all welcome to be wrong. Okay. That includes me. So I get where you're coming from. All right. And I think I've spent like half an hour going over the chat. I think the movie ended over 30 minutes ago. So I'm gonna get going. This has been good. I've been looking forward to this one. So now that we got it, we're good. So I'm gonna head off. I don't know if I'm going into work tomorrow. I'm still not 100%, and I'm not needed for my program tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to just sleep in for part of the day and come in the afternoon. I'll figure it out. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna head off. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it so much. Take care. This is Spidey Librarian, and until my next stream or upload, I'll be wishing you a good day. Bye.